in the street.
Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
Okay, happy Bears week. We've officially turned the page on the NFL weekly calendar. No more looking back. It's all about looking ahead now to the Chicago Bears, right? I'm curious to hear Kevin O'Connell and J.J. McCarthy's press conferences today. Are you going to be out there for those today, Judd?
Unfortunately, I can't be. I have a Judd's Hockey Show, Road to the World Junior Hockey Championships
right.
recording with former NHLer Derek Plant, so I can't be. I'm curious to hear it, too. I'm curious to hear. I guess I'm more curious probably to hear O'Connell than McCarthy. But I think it's either going to be interesting or it's just going to be nothing but cliche, coach speak and things like that.
I want him to keep the full heel turn going here, where he, I know I kind of talked about this on Monday, and I've thought about it even more, quite frankly, over the last couple of days. Just all the criticism of my play calling and the 3rd and shorts and the 4th and shorts, and I just want to let you guys know that after thinking about it, you're all idiots. I am an NFL head coach. I am Kevin O'Connell.
Mic drop.
And you guys are fired. Before we get to our Write That Down predictions here, the accountability session, we'll get to a quarterback cesspool challenge. I would say one of the most noteworthy weeks in the history of the quarterback cesspool challenge. I'll leave it at that, and we'll get to it. Yeah, crazy.
You're teasing the cesspool challenge.
A crazy twist in the quarterback cesspool challenge. Yeah, but there is no twist at Quick Trip. You know right where it's at and exactly what you're getting, Judd.
You do indeed. And look, for Vikings fans, it's time to level up your snack game with Quick Trip to the end zone. Swing by Quick Trip and buy a pothole pizza or a 20-ounce Pepsi or Mountain Dew with quick rewards, and that's your entry to win. Snag both, and you're stacking 10 bonus entries every week of the season. So 17 games, 17 winners. Someone scores a $500 Quick Trip gift card. But there's more. If the Vikings break loose with a 50-plus yard touchdown, they are dropping. Quick Trip is $5,000 to one lucky fan. No purchase necessary. Full details available at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes. Don't just watch the game. Win it only with our friends. Appreciate their support as always at Quick Trip.
Yeah, same or ditto for North American Banking Company, who powers Write That Down predictions every week here on the show. And in getting to know the team at North American Banking Company the last year and a half or so, they have helped me with banking, and they have helped me just, have human relationships with the bank that handles finances. So friendly, knowledgeable people. Safety and security of accounts, very much a priority also with cutting-edge online tools. And instead of just going through automated prompts all day, you can I talked to 2 human beings that were very helpful last week at North American Banking Company. It was great. It was refreshing. nabankcode.com/Mackey to learn more. That's nabankcode.com/Mackey, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Write that down.
Write this down.
All right, you guys. To remind Declan how this works, he might be a little rusty here, but he's probably going to come out firing. 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody on the show. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And listeners, if you want to be like Aaron here in a couple minutes and be a guest listener predictor, you can send Dex a message through the Score North app. There's a feedback tab, and we can get you scheduled hopefully sometime in the coming weeks and months. Judd, why don't you step to the floor here? Why don't you step up and get your comeuppance?
All right. Okay.
That's a pretty good week for you.
Okay.
We'll start with the bad. You said Travis Hunter will have 3 or more interceptions and 2 or more touchdown receptions in 2025. Well,
the season's not over yet.
His season is. Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
and you could argue that the Jaguars, after blowing that lead in the 4th quarter, that their season's also getting close to being over. But you did say that J.J. McCarthy would be sacked fewer than 3 times against the Ravens. Silver lining.
Sacked once. Should have been sacked twice if he'd known how to manage the clock, I guess.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, he needs to be thinking about high-level game theory chess in his 4th ever NFL start at the end of a half. Did that just oh?
I think that was everyone. I don't think that was an on-air production meeting. I think that was an entire glitch.
I told you.
Our site.
I told you when I came into the room, it did exactly that before we started.
A little false start. We'll have 7 more now throughout the rest of the episode. It's going to be okay. You just got to work. You just got to work with more yardage. That's what we're gonna have to do now.
It should have taken the sack.
It should have.
Yeah,
it should have. You said J.J. McCarthy would throw for 200+ yards against the Ravens. You did. This is a touchdown for you just because the specificity of during the season. You said the Giants would fire Brian Daboll during the season, which if you had said like by March or something, it felt like pretty obvious. But they did it during the season. Little touchdown. And then this one doesn't come off the board, but the clock starts on it this week.
Yes.
If you guys saw the news, but you predicted Jameis Winston will start at least 5 games for the Giants. It was announced Jameis Winston will start against the Packers this weekend. Mm-hmm. And if you're the Packers and you're coming off a couple bad losses, you're having a hard time getting it going, you got a bunch of division games coming up on your schedule, you might think, oh, the Giants, they're kind of a train wreck. You get a nice little reprieve here this week. Mm-hmm. Well, you're going to run into one of the great YOLO quarterbacks in NFL history, Jameis Winston, in a week also where the Giants might give you the, oh my God, we just fired our coach. We have to show some pride this week. So I think the Packers might be screwed with this announcement.
Wow. So did I see this right? So it's basically it sounds like Russell's going to be the 3rd QB once they're all healthy.
Yeah, but Jackson Dart's not going to be an active backup this week, so okay.
Right, but I'm saying once Jackson Dart comes back, he can start again, and then Russell. So Russell might just want to, call it a career, buddy. I know you don't want to, but just call it a career. It's okay.
It's so bad. It's kind of wild. His Seattle career was borderline Hall of Fame caliber, and it's just been an abject disaster. Okay, we'll get to my accountability here. I tried to one-up you and say J.J. McCarthy will throw for 300+ yards against the Ravens. And when they got the ball back and they were trying to make that 90-yard trek down the field or whatever it was, the math was mathing there for a second there. But then it stopped mathing. He did not quite get to 300. I did tell you that Lamar... I tried to see if Lamar Jackson passer rating under 90 would be a touchdown because it's only happened 3 times in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. And Judge sternly came down and said, for this to be a touchdown, you also have to add QBR under 60. And I was like, all right, whatever gets me a touchdown. Both those things happen.
Got the gremlins of StreamYards potentially sabotaging shows here. So we'll the accountability session just disappeared for me and then popped right back on.
Yeah,
so
and right now I've got a white
this is
blank
gonna be a
screen,
fun show.
But I don't know what the viewers are seeing. Yeah. So
hopefully they're seeing all these correct touchdown passes
can you see
being
it now,
thrown
Jed?
by the show.
No, it came back for a second when it glitched again, and now it's gone. So I'm just looking at a white piece of it's a white piece of paper.
Well, you're in the same boat as the Apple Spotify audience right now.
True,
no visuals. I will talk you through it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
This one does not come fully off the board yet, but I said by March 1st, 2026, Mike McDaniel, Brian Daboll, Dave Canales, and Brian Callahan would all not be coaching their current teams. Well, another one bites the dust there with Brian Daboll. We're halfway home on that prediction.
Nice.
Just need the other 2 guys. And then listeners, Tanner said the Vikings would go at least 2-2 over the 4-game stretch, starting with the Eagles game as part of a parlay, but they went 1-3. And then Jeff said the Vikings would beat the Ravens and continue the trend, the 25-year trend of when the Vikings play the Ravens, if they win, they go to the NFC title game. If they lose, the coach gets fired. Kevin O'Connell, man. Keep an eye out.
Oh boy. Will somebody ask him like they asked Matt LaFleur at his press conference if he's coaching for his job?
I mean, you could ask him about the Ravens trend. Kevin, does it worry you at all that in the last 3 decades, that Ravens game is very telling. It may have told a story, foreshadowing.
We need Chris Thomason. Thomason would ask that question.
You would 100%.
He would ask that question.
Does it worry you that you might be sent home with like a parting gift of $30 million? There we go. Now I see the graphics again.
Now I don't see it.
No.
This is
I'm dead
awesome.
serious. It just disappeared for me.
Phil just did
What
something.
about
Hold on.
What
here.
about
we're
right
gonna,
now?
We're gonna try. Okay.
Can you see
Did
it
it
now?
say Declan nothing off the board? Everyone
Yeah.
can see that.
No, I can't see it now.
What
but that's
the
fine.
hell?
Phil's talking me through it. You
It's
know what this
okay.
is?
You guys-
it's like,
Weird.
It's like old school. It's fine.
It's fine. And Apple, Spotify, you guys have no idea what's happening. AJ has his own category now, and he said the Vikings would win the turnover battle against the Ravens.
Ouch.
Yeah, not quite. So here are the 2025 season stats. I'm at 44%. Judd's at 36.5%, tied with the listeners at 36.5%. Declan 33.7%. AJ 33.3%. I have 10 touchdowns. Judd has 9. Listeners have, let's see, Declan has 8. Listeners have 7 touchdowns. AJ with 4 in a short spurt there.
Wow.
And then the all-time career stats going back to 2021. By the way, the season goes from Super Bowl to Super Bowl. Declan, 36.5% completions, leads that category. Listeners and myself with 67 touchdowns apiece lead that category. So we'll see if we can get through this show without technical difficulties crashing the whole thing down. But Aaron, can Aaron see us? Can we see Aaron?
Yes, sir. I can see you guys.
Okay. There we go. What's going on, man? Tell us about your Vikings fan background.
I've been a Vikings fan my whole life. My grandparents lived in this tiny house in Crystal, and every Sunday, a dozen of us would pile into the living room and watch a game. My dad and my stepmother had season tickets when I was in my 20s, so my first ever game was a Vikings-Packers game. That was phenomenal. I also was at the Adrian Peterson single-game rushing record against the Chargers.
So were we.
Which that was an amazing game as well.
So what year was your first game?
2003, like in my mid-20s.
Okay.
2004, somewhere around there.
So would that have been there was a Vikings-Packers game, you said, right?
Yeah.
They had some crazy. They had a bunch of like high scoring. Brett Favre.
2003 was the Christmas Eve game, right?
It might have been later than that. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but
Okay.
there was a 3:00 game that Favre just threw the ball up and down the field, and the Vikings ended up winning, which was fantastic.
I think that might have been the Christmas Eve game. I think it started at 3:00.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to look that up. I want
I
to
think
see
that
if
started at
Judd's-
3:00. I think
What
that
year
was
do you think that was?
2003, December 24th.
Maybe-
I was on the Packer beat at the time and came back to cover it.
Okay, they were 2003. That was the year they started 6-0 and
Missed the playoffs.
and the Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoffs.
Josh McCown.
Well,
Might
they
have
didn't
been a
play on
little bit
Christmas
later.
Eve that year. It would have been 04 then.
Oh, it was 04? Okay.
Which didn't they also start hot in 04? Yeah, they started 5-1 in 04 and had to grind their way. It was wow, look at you. It was a Friday Christmas Eve game,
Yep.
and it was mid-afternoon, and they lost at home 34-31. But then they got revenge in the playoffs
Yeah.
by the same score or similar. It was 31-17
At Lambeau.
in
Yep.
the playoffs.
Hard to beat a team 3 times.
It is.
That's what. Yeah, the old adage applies.
Yeah, boy, that game was kind of crazy. Yeah, Ryan Longwell with the game-winning 29-yard field goal.
That was a fun game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Vikings. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was the game where there was a crucial play. There was like a Donald Driver touchdown catch where he beat a then young E.J. Henderson, who hadn't really developed yet.
Yeah.
And if I'm right on that, EJ had a very up and down year. I think he was trying to play middle linebacker at one point, and then they had to take him off that position. But anyway, yeah. So
Donald Driver caught
times.
11 passes in that game
oh yeah,
for like 142 yards. Absolutely crazy. So, all right, let's the screen absolutely wigs out here.
It's weird. It's like typically there's a macro on my keyboard. If I go Control D, it's supposed to mute me, and it does mute me, but it also shifts the entire screen now. So That's very strange.
Do you have a macro that like it just automatically Judd has to spew a hot take?
That'd be awesome.
I
A
like
macro
this
where
screen
Judd
right now,
automatically
yeah.
has to call for a new play caller.
Hotkeys.
Oh, hotkeys. Hotkey sounds like a segment.
There is a thing in here called hotkeys, and Control D is mute, but it also, I guess, does something else.
Yeah.
Pretty
All
crazy.
right. Well, Aaron, you're going to be first out of the gate here with your first prediction. Then over to Judd. Dex back in the mix, taking some throws down the field than me. So if you're ready, Aaron, we're ready for your first prediction,
Write
man.
it down. You like writing things down.
The Bears are ranked 25th in pass defense in the NFL, averaging 237 yards per game. J.J. McCarthy will throw over 237 passing yards. And after the game, Colin Cowherd will praise KOC, saying JJ is the product of a system.
Wow. Okay. So I think we're going to give you, it's going to be a you know it when you hear it. So if Cowherd says something along those lines, I think we should give Aaron the credit here.
Sure, absolutely.
Because he'll probably throw it in like where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong.
Okay.
Did you see his show after the game this past week?
I did not know.
He said it's time to cut the cord on JJ. Maybe give him
Oh, already?
maybe give him till the end of the season and then just say that's it.
Wait, so he's suggesting that you cut the cord like before the season's over?
Now.
And move on to Max. He wants to see Max Brosmer, or did he not take the take that far? What does he do the rest of the year at quarterback then?
I'll email the clip to Declan.
Okay.
I saw some of it too. It was on the volume.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's something. It's somewhat. And look, Colin Cowherd is in the takes business. Is one of the best, and he's gonna miss a lot. In fact, the TikTok algorithm served me the one where he talks about Josh Rosen being the next
I got that
star
one.
of the NFL.
It's hilarious.
He
The
went on a
LeBron
whole
Ben
barrage.
Simmons one.
The LeBron Ben Simmons
Yeah.
one,
LeBron,
which is
we're good, bro.
all-time bad.
Ben Simmons is here now.
He basically there's one where he basically comes out and says Baker Mayfield should retire right now.
Yeah.
And that he could tackle Baker Mayfield.
Big,
the
yeah, that's
same way.
right.
I mean,
What's
as we
his
sit here
size?
in this glass house, there is currently a clip going around Vikings Twitter of me a year and a half ago saying that J.J. McCarthy will absolutely have a better career than Drake May, which, by the way, is still wide open and up in the air, even though, but
Yeah, you've got more wiggle room
because of the
here.
infrastructure. And my fight back that is, I was talking about the Gerard Mayo infrastructure pre-Stephon Diggs, pre-Mike Vrabel, in fairness. But
Doesn't work like that.
okay, what are you guys seeing on your screen right now? Is there
I
like
see-
a big, gigantic white space between me and Judd?
I see 4. I see by our normal 4. But like I said, if I go, okay, now everything
Don't-
it goes
I'm
weird.
fine with this. I see you two guys in your ordinary place. Oh,
There we go. There we
Now
go.
I'm back.
I'm back
if-
in the right spot.
But if someone hits their control D, like that's how I mute myself. I think Judd muted himself and it did it earlier. I did it and it
Oh,
just
okay.
did it again.
I won't mute myself anymore.
Everyone has to
open
go.
mics. If you have to cough,
Open mics.
just
Just
cough
cough.
on the show.
Yeah.
If you have
Dogs
to
start
sneeze,
barking. Sonny has a hot
Sonny,
take.
yeah, leave
or
it. Leave
blowout.
the open mics. Open
Leave
mics.
it all out
Write it
there.
down. You like writing things down.
All right.
Judd.
The Vikings will have 30 or more rushing attempts against the Bears. So they have had as many as 30 once all season, and that was 31 attempts because they absolutely blew the drawers off the Bengals in Week 3 at home. But I think no matter what KO says, he is definitely going to rethink, hash it out, whatever. He's heard the criticism, so I'm going with 30 or more rushing attempts.
I want to see him. I want to see him take it to another level. I want to see like 5 rushing attempts, and I want him to be defiant. I think it'd be hilarious. Okay, Dex, what's your first prediction back in the pool here?
All right. Write this down. The Vikings will run the ball with 2 yards or less to go in a down or goal to go situation against the Bears at least 3 times.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
He will attempt
same
this
goal.
at least 3. So as long as it's 2 yards or less and a goal, or in the goal to go, so from the 2-yard line or on, he will run the ball at least 3 times. Write it down.
All right.
I love where you're going, and I'm curious how much we're going to cannibalize each other's
Write this down.
predictions here. So I'll start with this one: that the Vikings will rush for a first down. So they will successfully run and convert a first down or a touchdown on a 3rd or 4th and 3 or less. So I'm going to include, because that was the number I used. We've talked 2 or less, 3 or less. I'm mirroring it with what I brought to the show yesterday, which is 3 or less. So 3rd or 4th down, 3 or less, they will successfully run for a first down. And off the record, the home crowd will do a Bronx cheer. You know how like when a baseball team commits 3 errors and they're kicking the ball around, or a pitcher walks 2 hitters on 4 pitches and finally throws a strike, and the crowd's like, "Oh!"
So goalie makes a save.
That's going to happen.
everything's
Oh, finally!
saved,
Yeah.
A potential clarification or caveat. If it's a design pass and McCarthy rolls out and
Has to
rushes
be a
for-
designed run.
Has to be design run.
Has to be a designed run.
Has to be design run.
I don't want the back door on
Yeah,
this.
no,
I'm
Same
going
with
through the
me,
front door
by
on
the
this
way.
prediction.
Same with me. I designed run. Design
Okay.
run. Yep.
Love it. We're gonna
Write this down.
will this into existence.
Yes, we
Okay, Aaron, your second prediction.
Justin Jefferson will finish the season with 8 or more touchdowns.
Ooh,
And let's see. He's got 2 now.
2, right?
2.
2. Boy, you got to pick up the
makes
pace.
sense.
We have to fight a little more
It was 10
aggressively for those
last. It was 10
50-50 balls.
before last game, and that's 8 now.
Oh, you had it ready to rock at 10.
You just
But then
bringing
him,
it down.
Bring it
then
down a little
him playing like he had a 109 fever the entire day made it.
Write this down.
Yeah. Okay, Judd.
All right, write this down. After being embarrassed on Sunday and somewhat like calling out the assistant coaches as well for their role or what they did do or didn't do, I don't know. The Vikings offense will be called for no more than 2 false start penalties against the Bears.
No more than so.
No more than 2. So 2 is the max.
2 or fewer.
2 or fewer. No more than 2. Yes, they can't be called for 3, but they were called for 8. I mean, I think they were humiliated by it. I mean, Wes Phillips, the OC, who never gives an opening statement, got up to the podium on Tuesday and basically started apologizing and said, this can and I think and KO made a comment on Monday about the assistants. I think that was a huge point of contention. It's just embarrassing.
What do you think his contention is with the assistants in that case?
I don't know. I think he's frustrated with everything, and so I think he's bringing it. I think he's just.
He's
what's the
kind of
term,
spiraling
scattered?
right now. They need to win.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm concerned about him. I like him personally. Let's make one thing very clear.
I do
him to
too.
be
He's a great guy.
I consider him to be a friend, but he's spiraling a little bit.
yeah.
I don't like to see
Such a
that. I
good
consider him
friend.
a close friend. I haven't talked to him personally in a while, but I consider. But anyway, yeah. So I think they're going to. I don't know they're going to win, but I think they're going to clear up the false start thing. Like that's just.
Write this down.
I'm sorry. That's a complete embarrassment. That's Pop Warner kid football crap.
It's bad. It's really bad. They should go to like one of those Pop Warner where it's just ready, set, the Tecmo Super Bowl. Ready, set, hot, until someone hits the hits the A button. All
Write this down.
right, Dex.
All right, so I want to will this McCarthy prediction next into existence. If you guys, and only 4 games, but have you guys gone by quarter split of his passer rating 1 through 4 so far through the 4?
Well, probably
games?
starts off. I saw Seifert had a stat, not that one, but he had something, and it starts off really solid, and then
Starts
it
off
just
almost
perfect.
perfect.
Fourth quarter is terrible. So yes, it's
His first quarter passer rating is 153.9.
That's almost
nearly,
perfect.
It's
What's
almost
158.3 is
perfect.
perfect, right? Yeah.
In the second quarter, it's 41.6.
okay.
In the third quarter, it's 16.8.
Oh my god.
And then
And that includes a decent couple drives against the
Yeah.
Bears, right?
Oh my gosh.
and in the fourth quarter, it's 90.5.
Okay.
Mostly because of the Bears game.
That's what. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so it's spiked
And,
back up. Okay.
But and what's weird too in the second quarter, like he has led, so he's 21 of 36. He has 9 first downs. He has 221 yards, but he has 3 interceptions and he's taken 7 sacks in the second quarter. Like he's actually moved the ball, but has made literally a third of his decisions have been the most costly decision you could possibly make as a quarterback: sack or
Yeah.
interception. So write this down, because he has no passing touchdowns. He did rush one, but no passing touchdowns in the middle quarters in the second or third yet this season. Write this down. J.J. McCarthy will have or lead multiple touchdown drives in the second and third quarter for the Vikings against the Bears.
Okay. So just to ask a dumb question. So only in the second and third quarter. If they have a rushing touchdown drive and another rushing touchdown, whatever it is, if the offense scores touchdowns on 2 drives, in the second in the
second and third, I almost made the middle 8. I almost made exactly the middle 8, but I'm gonna give myself a little bit more of a room there. But yes, multiple touchdown drives. He just has to lead them. I was gonna say he has to pass, but I'm hoping Kevin O'Connell maybe runs the ball, and I don't want to lose a technicality point. So multiple touchdown drives in the second and third quarter. Right.
Okay.
Write this down.
All right. I'm gonna keep trying to will some things into existence here too. It feels like the spirit of these predictions is just willing things into existence. So write this down. J.J. McCarthy, who, as documented on yesterday's State of the Vikings Purple Daily episode, when the Vikings call a pass play on 3rd or 4th and 3 or shorter, they have 0 completions on 14 called pass plays. Write it down. J.J. McCarthy will complete a pass on 3rd or 4th down and 3 or fewer in this game. Write it down.
Write this down.
Maybe it won't be a first down. Maybe it'll be a little flat route that someone gets tackled before the sticks. I'm not even saying it has to be a first. Just has to complete a pass.
Okay.
It could go backwards 10 yards.
We are
I don't
really
care.
shooting the bar low right now for this.
Well, let's start by getting 1 completion on a 3rd or 4th and short.
Literally,
By
again.
the way, if you're gonna call those plays, I would just say don't even call a pass play in those situations. But
Again, it sounds like we're like, hey, you're 12 years old. Can you just complete a pass? I don't know, mister.
well, you should. I think you should treat
Mr.
a young
O'Connell, don't
quarterback
throw
that
again.
way.
Oh, no. I don't want to throw again.
Write this down.
J.J. McCarthy, Mr. Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I'm passing. I want to run the ball. His arm comes off.
Oh my gosh, Aaron, what's your 3rd and final prediction?
Write this down.
A little bit of negative, but the Vikings will have either a turnover or a penalty in the first quarter on a kick return.
Oh,
Oh
man.
God.
Yeah.
That's almost a slam dunk.
It's not even. It can't, statistically, it can't be a touchdown for Aaron because they are averaging like 2 or 3 special teams penalties a game at this rate. So.
And when
In the first quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, in the first quarter. Okay.
I will say.
I think that's a touchdown.
Aaron, you just said kickoff. So do you want punts looped in or just the standard?
Just the kickoff.
Just the
He
kickoff.
doesn't need
Tud.
punt stacks.
That's a tud. Okay.
Just wondering.
He doesn't need punts.
Write
He's
this
probably
down.
going to be right.
Love it. Aaron just bringing some great predictions here on his Write That Down debut. Since you have this life-altering platform right now, this life-changing day in your life, Aaron, is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out that helped you get here?
The show, of course, it's fantastic. I've been watching since the pre-JJ McCarthy draft. I want to thank my wife and my kids. They're not Vikings or sports fans at all, but they let me watch every Sunday. Shout out to the golf boys in my fantasy football league, and my buddy Chris, who he and I talk football all the time. And then my mom and my father-in-law both have birthdays today, so I want to say happy birthday to them.
That's awesome,
Birthday.
man. Awesome. Happy birthday to them. And Aaron, hopefully we can see you again sometime, man. Good stuff.
Thanks so much, guys. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. I love reminiscing about the random 2004 Vikings-Packers game, too. I think we're back now. Are we? The white space?
I think something, to be honest, might have to loop in our buddy Pat Lager because, like, the hotkey and buttons are all wonky. And even when there's a little gear here, it says hotkeys. And you can, if you shift or hit control buttons, it'll, manually do things for you, which in theory is a great idea. But they are causing organized chaos on the StreamYard side. So I'm not sure.
Perhaps Dex simplify.
At the
Run
line of
the ball
scrimmage.
more. Just
Run
run
the
the
ball.
ball
Oh, yeah.
more. Quit trying to pass the
No,
damn
I'm
ball.
doing things my way. Damn it!
Hotkeys.
I've been executive producing for 5 years, and this is how I produce.
Can, hotkey.
Oh man, I'm just glad Judd doesn't know what the hotkeys are, or every show.
I
would just
didn't even
be
know there
ran
was
up
such a
buttons,
thing,
yeah.
but now I'm enamored with it, and I believe that it could actually be like a segmented thing, like hotkeys.
Bum, 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 bum.
Hey, I'm enamored with the idea of our next Purple Daily Unplugged event, which is going to happen a week from tomorrow, Thursday, November 20th, at Buffalo Wild Wings in Roseville. And so it's Thursday Night Football is happening that night, and we're going to gather for a 6:30 Purple Daily Unplugged podcast recording. The mingling starts around 6. You can get there whenever you want. It's a Buffalo Wild Wings, and you can hang out, get some boneless wings, $4 Coors Lights, $4 Miller Lights. And thanks to Pepsi, 5 lucky winners will leave with a Pepsi tailgate kit, $150 value. More info at scorenorth.com/Pepsi, but we'd love to see as many of you as can make it out a week from tomorrow, Buffalo Wild Wings in Roseville, where you can also, when you order 10 wings of any kind and a Pepsi, get one of these Justin Jefferson souvenir cups right here. You can also get these inside U.S. Bank Stadium and at Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh locations. There's a QR code on the side. When you scan that QR code, you can enter to win Victor's Ride, Victor's very own Polaris Ranger 1000, which he will drive right up your driveway if you win it. He'll give you the Zubas off his legs and that Polaris Ranger 1000. Yeah.
I want him to keep them on, actually.
So go into maybe you can just enter, you can get one of these cups at the Purple Daily Unplugged event in a week from Thursday. But yeah, Pepsi, the official beverage of the Minnesota Vikings, and Buffalo Wild Wings, the preferred sports bar of the Vikings as well. Mystic Lake, a partner of the Vikings. In our last, it wasn't an Unplugged event, it was the full-on vent line a couple weeks ago. We had a blast at Hop House. Really good time.
So I've been giving this some thought, because before my exclusively Viking days where I had to go, or I got to go to games and stuff, I used to think, you know what, I want to go watch the game, but I also want to keep an eye on the rest of the games going on. And you had to find the right sports bar at the time. Well, have I got the right sports bar for you? If you're a Vikings fan, but you want to see the rest of the games, Mystic Lake and the Hop House are the place to go. Absolutely fantastic. Not only is this a place that's comfortable, great food, great drinks, but also with the TVs, the most important thing, they're well run, well orchestrated. Every game is going to be on, so you can watch it all, the Vikings and everything else. The perfect place to spend your Sundays. Folks, Mystic Lake Hop House, check it out.
Write this down.
All right, boys. Final predictions here, and we'll get to a quarterback cesspool challenge. But Judd, what's your final prediction?
My final prediction is this. I'm going to go with some positivity here. I am going to say, write this down, that Miles Price will not fumble a kickoff return for the rest of the season.
Oh, the rest of the season.
The rest of the season. You know what? I have faith in him. He had a rough game on Sunday. He lost one. He lost one that was not great. He fumbled another that was actually a more egregious one, but the Vikings got that one back. But I'm going to say exclusively, by the way, kickoff return, so I'm not saying punt. Kickoff returns. He will not fumble another kickoff return the rest of the season.
Yeah. I think he learned his. I think a lot of people just kind of wrapped up in the moment or done with him, cut him, find a new kick returner. That was pretty bad, though. To fumble the second time after you just kind of partially cost your team the game, potentially.
It's a learning experience, I hope, because I do think that, like, in that role, he is good. He's definitely shown explosiveness, so I'm going to show some faith in the young man, because that's how I am.
He's good. I mean, he's.
I know.
If he can hang on to the football, do you think he'd ever be playable as like a third or fourth wide receiver? Or is he just a special teams guy?
I think he's just a special teams guy. Might be wrong. Not a lot of size, right? Or at least he doesn't look like he has a lot. I mean, guys have
but he's
played
explosive.
Before. Yeah, guys have played before. Strikes me as a guy that's a returner, but wouldn't absolutely be shocked if he developed a little bit.
And as I've been in some dark corners of like Vikings Twitter and Vikings internet, they might need Miles Price to step up after Justin Jefferson gets traded this upcoming March.
Where are you going? Like, you're going to really dark places, huh?
The algorithm is
like, be careful.
Feeding
Stay
some
out of
dark
those
things
places.
to me. Yeah.
Stay out of those places. You don't want to put yourself in that mindset.
The amount of "I'm done with Justin Jefferson."
There's actually a conversation off that because for one game, I'm with you. I've seen some Like we're acting like now I'm seeing, well, he's Diggs. It's going to be Diggs all over. It's like, okay, let's calm down just a little bit. It's one game. And he's never done this before. We have never had this conversation before.
Yeah. Well, we never had it before Diggs started to show some odd behavioral signs
Look at
either.
you're going, you're spending time in dark corners and believing the conspiracy theories.
We need the hotkeys back, and we need a win so we can get out of the dark corners.
Hotkeys.
Yeah.
Hotkeys.
Control D on three.
Control D.
Can.
Control D.
Control I. Control
Control
I.
F. Search it. Search the words.
Write this down.
Declan.
Yeah. Last one for me. Write this down. I think I made it in week 1 too, and I'll repeat it again. The Vikings defense records a pick six or a scoop and score against the Bears.
All right.
Vikings defense gets a touchdown against the Bears. Even though the Vikes have lost back to back here, I still, or not back to back, but coming off a rough game against the Ravens, I still like their chances against Chicago at home. So give me the Vikings defense to fluster Caleb, which they've mostly done. So a pick six or a scoop and score against the Bears. Write it down.
And that's one thing. Caleb has tightened it up. He had between like fumbles, sacks, and interceptions last year, by far the most of any NFL quarterback. And so far this year, he's not really taken sacks. He's only taken 14 sacks in 9 games, so like maybe a sack and a half a game after leading the league with 68 sacks last year. And he only has the 4 interceptions. So he's throwing an interception once every other game. So it's harder to get in that Ben Johnson system. If he's not always playing on schedule, and I think drives Ben Johnson a little bit nuts. But it would have to be Caleb getting off schedule a little bit, and then maybe the Vikings pass rush getting to him. But I'm going to put my money where my mouth is here. I kind of alluded to it, but I think the Packers are spiraling here, and I think they think the Giants are a get right spot.
I almost made this prediction.
And it should probably be a get right spot. They're 7.5 point road favorites, but the Giants are going to have a little extra pride. They're going to feel bad that they got their coach fired. You always see a team kind of rise up a little bit after the coach gets fired. And Jameis Winston doesn't give a bleep. Jameis Winston's going to hunt for 350 yards, even if he throws 7 interceptions.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a chance that Jameis could just be an absolute killer on Sunday. So I'm going to say it. Packers lose outright to the Giants.
Okay.
Outright.
Oh, what's the?
I hate the spread because I was going to make
It's
a prediction
7.5.
on the spread. I hate this. I hate that spread.
Like for the Packers?
I would take the Giants to cover that
Yeah.
all
If
day.
they lose outright, the LaFleur slander calling for his head. I mean, that's all that, and that is, that's a sneaky thing about that market, because they've had so much success and because they have nothing but the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they are in my opinion much harsher than us. Like, we're harsh, they're way harsher.
It's also kind of all they have.
That's what I'm saying.
There's some Milwaukee sports fans and stuff, but it is the team. The Vikings are the team here, but even more so, the Packers are the team.
And I don't know how much of an effect this has, but, I think a lot of people have cashed in their chips on the Badgers. And so now it's basically, football-wise, all you have left is the Packers.
And their schedule, they are, after losing to the Eagles loss in a vacuum, it was ugly the way they lost, but it's not really a sin to lose to the Eagles. The Browns and the Panthers losses and the Cowboys tie, where you gave up 40 points in that game, you're in a spot now where you got to find 5 more wins on the schedule if you're the Packers, and they should get 1 against the Giants. But they still have 2 against the Vikings, and even though the Vikings are in the dumps right now, those are going to be a fight.
Oh, yeah.
They've got 2 against the Bears. Those are going to be a fight. They've got at Detroit on Thanksgiving, at Denver on their schedule still, and a game against Baltimore in Week 17. So they are, even with a win this weekend, the Packers have put themselves in a spot where missing the playoffs is on the board. It's on the board.
Crazy league.
Crazy league.
It is. It is a crazy league.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, boys. Before we get to the quarterback cesspool challenge here, we brought this up at the beginning of the show, but just out of curiosity, what do you feel like? And I know that you're not going to be there for this press conference today, but What do you think the tone is right now inside that building? Feels
Well,
kind of tense just from
yeah. I think the tone that we're going to get this afternoon on the press conference front and the actual tone behind the scenes are very different because I think they're going to come out sending positivity and Pollyanna and everything is great, and because there's no reason for them to go sour publicly, right? And if you had a guy, if Justin Jefferson was actually a problem child, you might have a guy like that pop off, but he's not. He's not going to. No, zero chance. I mean, post game Sunday, and what clearly was like frustration of some sort or something was wrong. He was, hey, a ball didn't hit my hands or stuff like that. So I think the public tone is going to be very positive. I think internally, I think there's a lot of strife because their plan hasn't worked, and it's that simple.
yeah.
And look, they were threading a needle it was fun to watch. Like I was excited to talk about it, and if it had worked, it would have looked genius. But if you think about it, you can't really be totally shocked, right? I mean, in March you sign these veterans, and then you say, okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to have a quarterback who's going to be a young quarterback who's going to come in and start, and we're going to juggle this and hope it works. And then the quarterback gets hurt, and the center gets hurt. So I think internally there's probably a lot of strife, and I think it starts with the Wilfs. But you're never gonna see that unless it blows up.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing, I think we contextualized some of this yesterday, but I've seen a lot of people correctly preaching patience with McCarthy, and I think that needs to continue to be a theme that you have to,
Yes.
whether you're fans, media, or the head coach, there's got to be a level of patience. He's not 27. He hasn't played 30 games. He is just sort of starting off a year and a half after his contemporaries in that draft. So yes, we need to exercise patience, but I feel like in terms of the tone of this show, it's less about impatience with McCarthy. I feel like we have an understanding of, hey, there's going to be some ups and downs, and anyone who's bailing on him right now, cowherd style, you got to bail on him if he plays bad this weekend, is mistaken. I'm more curious about the dynamic with Kevin O'Connell, and just the word tense comes up to me. It feels like there's a lot of tension, and maybe, I know we were emailing about this last night, Judd, and maybe this is a Thursday topic. If they lose to the Bears, the playoff hopes are over. You're not making the playoffs. You're probably not making the playoffs even if you beat the Bears, just based on the math. But I do wonder if alleviating that pressure of, hey, well, this isn't how we drew it up. It certainly doesn't fall under the win one before we die mantra and accountability bar here.
Yeah.
But at least there's no needle to be thread anymore. You are playing out the rest of the season specifically to develop a 22-year-old quarterback.
Yep.
And everything you do should be aligned with getting him as far down the road as possible, or finding out as much about him as possible going into a big offseason.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing is you cannot go into training camp with questions that can be answered now. Like if you do, shame on you. You've done a terrible job. Now, I do think there's an interesting dynamic. I agree from an on-field standpoint and from a simplification standpoint and from what's best for McCarthy. I think if you sort of just put the playoff hopes out of your mind, which players and coaches don't like, some of them will do it, but some won't. But if you put that out of your mind, I do think that allows you then to go about developing him, which is the most important thing. I just think if you show up for training camp and you're like, okay, here's what we didn't find out, then you've not done your job. Yep. But it will be interesting then to see, and again, this is all internal, we will not see it, the amount of finger pointing that goes on behind the scenes, because the Wilfs are going to say, well, what happened here, right? Like you guys told me in March, like I believe they cash over cap, they might have spent the most money in free agency. And I think from a cap standpoint, they spent the second most to the Patriots. So it's like, okay, when you audit the season and sit down, the Wilfs aren't going to say, too bad that didn't work. They're going to say, what happened? And so I think you could have some serious finger pointing that could get out publicly, but will certainly start in a private discussion.
Yep. The biggest question, non-JJ McCarthy related, that I would have if I'm the Wilfs, if I'm really anyone, if I'm us, remains Dallas Turner. 19 pressures in 9 games, 2 sacks.
Yeah.
You could have said that he had a third sack, but kind of a ridiculous penalty. I like by the end of the year, that's another question that I want a better answer to is that dude emerging into a high level pass rusher?
Yep.
And the answer right now is no. If Grenard's out, it sounds like he's going to be out this weekend. Okay, it'll be another chance in theory for now. If Dallas Turner doesn't get about 50 or 60 snaps with Grenard out, that's the team telling you something. And if he does, and he doesn't generate pressures again, that's something to keep an eye on between now and the end of the year. I actually think Dallas Turner's performance from now until the end of the year is going to say a lot more about how Kwesi is evaluated moving into another draft than even J.J. McCarthy.
Well, I think there's a couple of really intriguing bins here. That's one of them. Like there's no question. And just the draft as a whole. If one guy busts, that sucks. But you've got a lot of okay, that guy's a first round pick. If he is not deemed playable consistently, and now you've got the depth of drafts, which has been not good. But my other bin is this one too. And again, I'm sure the Wolves were excited just like we were, but the Wolves and us are not directly paid to make the decisions that the front office is, okay? So here's my question. In retrospect now, why did you think you could thread the needle that you couldn't? Like why did we go out and sign these guys? I mean, J.J. McCarthy looks, unfortunately, and it's hindsight, but if you're the owners, you have the benefit of saying, I pay you to be right about this stuff. So I think that there's a hard audit of different questions and paths about what happened. I mean, heck, you know what? Personally, if I owned the team, I would ask questions about, and at the end of the day, it's a small thing, but it ended up being big, the Sam Howell thing. So why did we go to training camp with a quarterback that was very, very clear from day one wasn't going to work out as a backup when we knew, J.J. McCarthy missed an entire season, so him being hurt is not like I can't believe he got hurt. And then you didn't have a backup in training camp who went through training camp, and then you signed Carson Wentz at the 11th hour. He had to play, and clearly it hurt him. He didn't get training camp. So I think that there's a bunch of really hard, fair questions to be asked that run the gamut. And, if we're going to give Kwesi and the front office, and they deserve credit for this, that unbelievable, probably the best in franchise history, free agent class of 24, then they got to answer for 25.
Yeah.
The Adam Thielen trade, too, let's add that to the bin.
Oh, I like that, yeah. Good call.
5th round pick and a 4th round pick, and I know it's in 2 drafts from now, but
good call.
This guy is washed, man. Adam Thielen is washed. He has 7 receptions in 9 games, and
Chris Collinsworth.
Just go get it. Go
pay
full
him. Collinsworth.
Go play it. Go get the trade. Make it happen. Bring him in here. Be wide receiver 3. Jalen Naylor is far and away a better and more reliable receiver right now than Adam Thielen. That was also a complete overpay, and if he didn't have the Minnesota nature attached to his name, that trade doesn't happen for a 4th and a 5th round pick.
I think 2 things off that. One, he clearly does not have a whole ton of juice left. I think they panicked a little because they weren't sure about Jalen Naylor's hand. Jalen Naylor had a hand injury that knocked him out for a few weeks toward the end of camp, end of preseason.
Yes.
And he was maybe on the verge of missing a long chunk of the season, but he opted for a shorter term. Was it a procedure that brought him back quicker? Because it's a free agent year for him, and that decision is going to make him a lot of money.
I think that there are, and I don't know full details, but I think there are also, speaking of bins, I think there also are injury questions too, because didn't Doogie report that on Jalen, it was initially the team's okay, you're probably going to have surgery. And Jalen then said, well, hold on a second. I'm a free agent. I want to go out. So he went and consulted with a guy in California who's like, I can get you back by the opener. There is a lot we also don't know that's gone wrong here. So I would not be shocked if there is some accountability. I'm not saying O'Connell is in any trouble, but I would not be shocked if there is some accountability to be held through that building, because this is definitely not the plan.
It wasn't what they thought was going to happen this year, 100%. Injuries have definitely, there's a couple games early where if you had your full allotment, maybe they go differently. But there's a lot. No, a win against the Bears alleviates some of the pressure nozzle here. But by the way, speaking of Sam Howell, the quarterback cesspool challenge is next here on Purple Daily. Hello, friend. My little friend here, Pendleton Whiskey, just hanging out next to me. No, I drink responsibly.
Quarterback cesspool.
No. Responsibly.
I'm glad you heard that, Phil.
Pendleton Whiskey is bringing together fans of the Vikings and the Bears this weekend during their first ever Friendsgiving on Sunday, November 16th from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at downtown East Plaza at US Bank Stadium. Vikings and Bears fans will have the opportunity to set aside their differences and come together around good food and Pendleton cocktails. It'll be buffet style, Thanksgiving and barbecue inspired grill dishes. Cocktails will be the Orchard Punch and Cowboy Coffee, both fall-inspired Pendleton whiskey cocktails. Perfect for colder weather. So it's open, it's free to the public, and Vikings legends Asera Tuaolu and Leo Lewis are going to make appearances at the event. 9 to 11:30 a.m. downtown East Plaza, US Bank Stadium. Pendleton Whiskey throwing a Friendsgiving gathering. 2025 Pendleton Distillers, ProximaSpirits.com. Please drink responsibly. Standard heating and air conditioning also powering the quarterback cesspool challenge today, Dex.
Yeah, look, we had a little bit of a cold spell there over the weekend into this week, and I think we'll probably hit 60 on Friday for likely the last time for a foreseeable future here. Yeah, ever. It'll never be 60 degrees again. So if you haven't already, schedule your HVAC checkup now. Make sure you get down to it. And to be honest, by the way, I heard from our friends at Standard Heating, you, the Purple Daily audience, have responded very well to Standard from their messaging here. And I know, obviously, we do a lot of advertisers. We appreciate all the time when our audience obviously supports our advertisers. So just from my end, thank you for those that have contacted Standard Heating. I think that's incredible. And if you need that HVAC system serviced, go contact Standard and tell them that Purple Daily sent you.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. Yeah. Appreciate you guys supporting our partners here. So it's the Quarterback Cesspool Challenge, which is a weekly celebration of bad quarterback play in the National Football League. And here's how it works. Each member of the show selects a quarterback that we think is going to be terrible for the upcoming week's games. Here's the catch. Once you use that quarterback, you can't use him again the rest of the season. So there's some strategy on when and how you deploy certain quarterbacks, timing, etc. And the scoring is pretty simple. It's ESPN's QBR on a 0 to 100 scale. And obviously, we're going for the lowest QBR. We have weekly winners, and then we have the season-long aggregate measurement as well. And I alluded to this earlier in the show. Declan was teetering there. You know, AJ was kind of running it, and things were going okay for a couple weeks. But Judd and I had really started pulling away from Declan.
Yeah.
But look what happened this week. Declan correctly nailed Justin Fields for his second weekly victory of the year, a 15.8 QBR.
Nice.
While Judd and I got stuck. Marcus Mariota for Judd, an 82.8 QBR.
That's a bunch of crap, by the way.
And Mac Jones for
recount.
me had an 88.7 QBR.
I want to recount. I cannot believe that.
I got burned with the first Tyler Shuck start against the Rams when he pulled up a 70 QBR with like the most pedestrian performance of all time. That one pissed me off. And then Russell Wilson, the one game when Russ almost in week 2, whatever game that was, Russ's last like stance as a viable starting quarterback. Apparently over the last 30 starts, I picked the one where he goes off one last time. So, hey, man, this is the game, a QB Cesspool Challenge. Just because you think you have it, and then also you think you understand the formula of how QBR stew is made. Yeah. You have no idea. You have no idea.
The worst quarterback in Week 10 was Aaron Rodgers with a 4.5 QBR for him. Not good.
Oh, but if the Vikings had only signed him.
Next question.
Yeah, I don't think it would have gone well, regardless of who Aaron was playing for. But here are the updated tight standings. For the weeklies, I have 6 wins with a wide lead between you guys. Each have 2 wins, but there's still plenty of season left. For the season long, Judd narrowly leading 41.3 average QBR. I'm at 42.2, and Declan a big jump to 46.7. So we're all separated by just 5 points of QBR. And I'll put on the screen here. You can see who we've selected to this point in the season. Remember, we can't select a quarterback that we have selected before, and we all have to pick different quarterbacks for Week 11 here. If someone takes a quarterback that winds up not playing, you automatically get the backup quarterback. And if you have used the backup quarterback, then you get stuck with a 75 QBR. So we'll go in reverse order of last week's standings. So I get the first pick, Judd gets the second pick, and then Declan will bat third here. And I think this is there's a bunch of good candidates, but for me it's pretty cut and dry. I'm the only one that hasn't used Dylan Gabriel yet, and he's playing a Ravens defense that's kind of back the last month. So I'm gonna rifle off my Dylan Gabriel pick here in Week 11, who has the second worst QBR of any starting quarterback in the NFL for the season. Dylan Gabriel.
He screwed me too, I think. I picked him against the Vikings.
He had a 39 QBR for you. It wasn't terrible.
But I didn't win that week.
Yeah, well, that's the problem you have to understand. Either do you want the high score or do you want like a lowish score that doesn't get you the win? What's more frustrating?
I just want these quarterbacks to suck because they all suck.
You just want to win. That's
I
all
just
that
want you
matters.
to suck. You're not good at what you do. Just not be good. Don't be good at what you do.
But Dylan Gabriel helped your season total.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
At the end of the day, you want
still
a
don't
low
like
score regardless.
Yeah. Congratulations.
All right, John.
So I'm next.
Yeah.
I will take Justin Fields, who I've not used yet, against the Patriots.
One of you two has to take Justin Fields.
On Thursday night.
I've already, or I guess I have not rifled off Justin Fields yet, but yeah.
Did you guys see the latest Aaron Glenn at the podium?
No, I can't with that guy.
So
I think he's over his head.
So, oh God. So he gets up there yesterday and he, ordinarily in opening statements, a lot of coaches like O'Connell give you the injury update, right? Like so-and-so is working through this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn gets up there and says, where is Rich, meaning Rich Samini of ESPN? And he says, because he broke the news about Garrett Wilson being out like 4 to 6 weeks. And Glenn says, well, he's got the information, so I'm going to have you ask him. And they're like, but we want to ask you. He's like, no, Rich has it now. And Rich Samini wasn't even there.
He is out for 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So it's.
But they're like, we want to ask you about this, and he's like, well, he's reporting stuff now, so he's got it.
Yeah, that dude's gonna get
painful.
fired. Yeah, he's not cut out for it. Not cut out for it.
That market. All right, so I take Fields.
Okay.
Green 18! Green 18!
Oh man, I got all three of my options here on the board. I'm between, so I am very tempted to take Caleb. I haven't used Caleb Williams.
Do it.
He is having a very good, and from a QBR standpoint, he's had a couple clunkers against New Orleans and Washington, but mostly has posted above average, above 50 QBRs in the majority of his starts. So he hasn't taken many sacks this year because they've made the offensive line better. He's been less turnover prone, which has been good for him. So the other options I'm going are actually Bo Nix at home against the Chiefs defense. Now they're at home, which, like, if that was an Arrowhead, this would be a slam dunk for me.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna take Bo Nix. So I'm gonna do it. I'll take the home quarterback, coming off an atrocious start. Chiefs will make life hell here. Maybe some regression to just in general for Denver, who's gotten off to a really good start this year and probably is going to be in the playoffs regardless. But I'll take Bo Nix. Give me Bo Nix.
Everybody hold your water.
Yeah, you got to take some chances in the quarterback cesspool challenge.
That's right.
So all right, so Dex, Bo Nix, Judd, Justin Fields, and I will go with Dylan Gabriel here for the Week 11 quarterback cesspool challenge picks, gentlemen. Good luck to all of you, and may your quarterbacks be terrible and confused.
Please,
and
be yourself, guys.
All right, guys. Tomorrow it'll be Thursday again, and there's a lot to discuss. We will react to the press conferences today, and I believe so. Booney and I are going to connect for a Trenches episode tonight. I think he might want to go live tonight. We pre-record those and then release them in the morning, but there's half a chance that we go live tonight on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. 8:30, 9 o'clock. I don't know for sure.
Just depends what time.
Well, he's been pretty good about like 8:30, 8:45, which is very reasonable.
All right.
There was a day where it used to be like 10:30, 10:45. It's a little late for my old ass. I like to be in bed watching
scrolling.
I'm like a second like primetime games. Watch the second half in bed and kind of like prepping on my phone for our show.
Scroll a little bit. Check out the TikToks what the kids are watching.
It is, once once I get Sonny down, which his bedtimes is now going earlier, which is great. Like at first it was like 10:30, 10 o'clock, and now it's more like 9ish, which is great. But my wife will go to bed usually like when I'm getting Sonny to bed. But then I get like that hour where it's just me and a cocktail and whatever else I want to watch for an hour and a half, and it's now become my. I'll be completely honest. It's my favorite period of the day. Is the last hour and a half of my day.
Your little buddy comes walking into the room.
Yeah,
Old
exactly. Pendleton.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
you are officially in
you want crushed ice? You want regular ice?
dad
Which
life
ice?
right now.
That's right.
Daddy's busy. Quit crying.
I need to see Judd babysitting Sonny at some point.
God.
All right, we will have an OG Write That Down episode on Mackie and Judd as well. And Flagrant Howls today is the hottest Wolves takes edition. Plus, Judd's Hockey Show. Bar Down Beauties are part of Score North. The Score North Twin Show, reacting every week to various off-season moves. So keep an eye on the rest of the Score North catalog of podcasts here. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on Purple Daily, where we just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.